नामुमकिन जैसी कोई भी चीज नहीं, ये जो हर सिंगर। नामुमकिन जैसी कोई भी चीज नहीं, जो खुद ना बने वो कोई भी नसीब नहीं। मिलेगी मंजिल चाहे करीब नहीं, मैं हूँ दिल का अमीर भाई।
Hello friends, welcome to yet another episode of the Indian Military Anecdotes. Well friends, this time we have with us Colonel Satish Vaidya, a hardcore paratrooper, in fact a para-commando, who's got fantastic stories with him. Today, he is chosen to tell us a story about a cow which had fallen or got trapped in a dry blind well. It is all about, there is some, well, let me not tell you that. There are fantastic takeaways from his story. So we will actually go straight to him. And so Colonel Satish, can you tell us that very interesting story about the cow?
Hi, everybody. When I was preparing for NDA in school, my father used to tell me, initiative is very important.
Yeah.
But for me at that time, it was purely theoretical and I didn't understand the meaning at all.
The meaning of
what is initiative. But somehow I managed to get into NDA and then into para-commandos and life went on. I'd almost forgotten about this episode about this initiative story.
Yeah.
I was posted to the Training Centre NSG when it was raised. Now, we had a firing range which was far away from our administrative offices.
Right.
And
at the end of the training of a hot summer day,
Right.
I had waited at the range to tie up some loose ends and then got into my jeep.
And I was heading back for lunch. And I looked towards the left of the track and about 50 to 70 meters to my left, I saw a huge crowd of trainees surrounding I knew that place had a well, so standing around there and looking down into the well.
I see.
So I said, there's something really interesting going on, so I must go and see it.
Right. So that was a big crowd? A big crowd?
A huge crowd. All the trainees were there because they were all had finished their training for the day and were heading for lunch. But now, having forgotten about a thing like lunch and standing around there looking down into a well
Must
was
be something interesting.
quite interesting. So I stopped my jeep, got off and walked over. I looked down and I found that they were all looking at a cow that had fallen into the dry blind well.
Oh my God.
It was in panic. I don't know how long it had been there, but
Right.
I'm sure being trapped, it was quite nervous and
Right.
scared. So I looked around and I found some of my trainees
Right.
who normally carried ropes and carabiners and harnesses and all that around. So
Right.
I generally asked around, does anyone have a rope? So somebody came ahead with a thick rappelling rope, which is about 200 meters long, so
I
long
see.
enough.
Okay.
I told him, you just wrap it around a tree, leave it into the well. So when he did that, I held onto the rope and climbed down.
I see.
It was only a cow, so it's not a panther or something or leopard which could harm me.
Yeah.
I went and stroked the cow's back and pacified it a little.
Pacified the animal, yeah.
Don't worry, we are there. And then I said, okay, now how do we pull it out? So I asked for another rope to be sent down. We tied that rope around its horns, and the first rope we looped around its belly, and the people on top were asked to pull it up
Right.
simultaneously so that it was level.
Right.
And in about a minute or two, the whole thing was done, and the cow was put onto firm ground, head pointed towards its own home, and it trotted away. So, job was done. Now, when I think back to what my father used to tell me about initiative, I said,
Yes.
there were any number of people. There were about 150 to 200 of these trainees there.
Oh my God.
They had all the equipment that was required. Now, all that was required was for them to, they knew the
Take
problem.
that initiative.
The cows
Take that
there.
initiative.
Yes. Now, they just had to find a way to get it out.
Correct.
And I don't know, think it required much courage to go down because,
Correct.
like I said, it was only a cow,
Correct.
a small cow.
Correct.
It just reminds me this is a short story about four persons named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There was an important job to be done, and everybody was asked to do it. Everybody was sure somebody would do it.
Right.
Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody couldn't do it.
Wow.
It ended up that everybody blamed somebody, but nobody did what anybody could have done.
Wow.
Now, coming to think of it, story really appealed to me. So I've written it down and
Yeah.
kept it as what matters today is leadership.
Correct.
And we were taught in the academy days about the traits and principles of leadership, where A stood for attitude, B for bearing, C for courage, D for determination, enthusiasm, and etc. I for initiative, of course.
Right. So this was really very interesting, Satish. And the simple story of saving the cow is actually a great story because it draws out a lesson of and explains very clearly what initiative means. So thank you very much, Colonel Satish, for that interesting anecdote. And we look forward to having many more very interesting anecdotes from you. Thank you very much, Colonel Satish.
Thank you very much, Colonel Anil.